What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and you'll often hear from leftists and what are they, advocates or allies or whatever the bizarre name they're using to identify their misinformation spreading, at least in my opinion, they're going to talk about these harmless things. All kids, we're going to put kids on, we're going to put their puberty on pause. That's all it is. It's completely harmless. Don't worry about that. Just give a kid at the most developmentally complex time of their life a few of these pills a day, and there's no consequences. That's the assertion of a lot of these woke weirdos. Well, today, actually published in the Wall Street Journal, was a very interesting opinion piece titled "The Truth About Said Puberty Blockers," and I think it's a very interesting article. It's not necessarily something I cover all the time on this channel, so I don't know how it's going to go over, but I do know it's also a spicy topic. So I'm really, really glad I have a channel sponsor to help support the video, and that is Private Internet Access. Huge shout out to this video sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, it's 2023. If you don't have a VPN, you're missing out on a ton of benefits. Not just a more secure connection, but if you're paying for Netflix, Disney Plus, or any other streaming service, you're already getting locked out of a ton of additional content that you could be enjoying if you used a VPN. And since they've been sponsoring the channel so long, they've rolled out a massive discount for my viewers. That's right, 84% off plus 4 months free. It's $2.03 a month, 4 months free, 84% off. Private Internet Access also offers privacy on all your devices, lightning fast global server network. And look, outside of all the additional content you're going to be able to view out there using Private Internet Access, it also has a strict no logs policy. It's open source. It has state-of-the-art updates. It's instant to set up. You can put it on all of your devices, your tablet, your computer, your mobile phones. It has unlimited bandwidth and so much more. If you don't have a VPN yet, make today the day. Use my link in the description to get Private Internet Access, start being more secure, and unlock loads more content. Well, if you don't have a VPN yet, make sure you pick yours up using the link in the description. It's a nice big discount too. The truth about puberty blockers: the FDA hasn't approved them for gender dysphoria, and their effects are serious and permanent. The fashion for transgenderism has brought with it a new euphemism, quote, gender-affirming care, which means surgical and pharmacological interventions designed to make the body look and feel more like that of the opposite orientation or the opposite sex. Gender-affirming care for children involves the use of puberty blockers, one of 5 powerful synthetic drugs that block the natural productions of hormones. The Food and Drug Administration has approved these medications to treat prostate cancer, endometriosis, certain types of infertility, and a rare childhood disease caused by a genetic mutation. But it has never approved them for gender dysphoria, a clinical term for the belief that one's body is the wrong one. They're in the wrong, you're a girl, you feel like you're a boy, you feel like a girl. Oversimplified, but, truthfully. This is something you often hear. Oh, they're safe and reversible. They're safe. It's just, this is, here we go. Thus, the drugs led by Abby Vai's Lupron are prescribed to minors off-label. They are used as off-label for chemical castration for predators as well. Off-label dispensing is legal. Some half of all prescriptions in the United States are for off-label uses. But off-label use circumvents the FDA's authority to examine the safety, efficacy of the drug, especially when the patients are children. Some United States have eliminated the need for parental consent to teens as young as 15 to start these. Proponents of puberty blockers contend that there is little downside. The Department of Health and Human Services claims puberty blockers are, quote, reversible. It omits the evidence that, quote, by impeding the usual process of orientation and gender identity development, these drugs effectively, quote, lock in children and young people to a treatment pathway, according to a report by Britain's National Health Service, which cites studies finding that 96 to 98% of minors prescribed puberty blockers proceed to cross-sex hormones. Gender advocates also falsely contend that puberty blockers for kids and teens have been used safely since the 80s. As a recent Scientific American article put it, that ignores substantial evidence of harmful long-term side effects. The Center for Investigative Reporting revealed in 2017 that the FDA had received more than 10,000 adverse event reports from women who were given Lupron off-label as children to help them grow taller. They reported thinning and brittle bones, teeth that shed enamel or cracked, degenerative spinal discs, painful joints, radical mood swings, seizures, migraines, and self-harm thoughts. Some developed fibromyalgia. There were reports of fertility problems and cognitive issues. And the FDA in 2016 ordered Abivaid to add a warning that children on Lupron might develop new or intensified psychiatric problems. Trans children are at least 3 times as likely as the general population to have anxiety, depression, neurodevelopmental disorders. Last year, the FDA added another warning for children about the risk of brain swelling and vision loss. The lack of research demonstrating that benefits outweigh risks has resulted in some noteworthy pushback in the United States and abroad. Republican legislatures in dozens of states have curtailed or banned gender-affirming care for minors. Finland, citing concerns about side effects, in 2020 cut back puberty blockers for minors. Sweden followed suit in 2022 and Norway this year. Britain's National Health Services shuttered the country's largest youth gender clinic after 35 clinicians resigned over 3 years, complaining they were pressured to overdiagnose gay, mentally ill, and autistic teens and prescribe medications that made their conditions worse. Still, the United States and most European countries embrace a standard of care that pushes youngsters towards gender-affirming, quote, treatments. It circumvents watchful waiting and talk therapy and diagnoses many children as gender dysphoric when many say may be simply going through a phase. Now, I think that, we saw this yesterday with, Matt Walsh's tweet thread about, just how easy it was for his producer, whoever it was, to just go ahead and get his balls removed. There is an inordinate amount of money to be gained. Now, I don't know, as a percentage, how financially beneficial getting the small percent of the population that, prescribes these medicines, how much money's there. But you can't deny that there is massive financial benefits to, getting a 13-year-old hooked on, expensive pills for the rest of their life. Certainly, I'm, more progressive than some of my peers in terms of my opinions on this stuff, but certainly, there are trans people, but I also believe that there are trans trenders, and there is this huge financial pressure and social clout pressure for people to perhaps self-identify as that, as opposed to actually be that. We've seen, actual people like Dylan Mulvaney, in my opinion, be able to monetize extraordinarily effectively what is medically a mental disorder, and it doesn't make him a bad person. It doesn't, I think it's the companies that prop it up. It's the people that are rubber stamping these procedures that they're the evil ones. It's the people who go out there like Eli Eric or whatever this person's name is, who's actually one of the worst humans on the planet, in my opinion. Are people spreading information about, oh no, it's just, there's risk-free. Like, you're an adult, you want to do stuff. I don't have a lot of an opinion about that, but I do have opinions about parents who, they want to get their kids. They have some 5-year-old kid who likes to play with Barbies, and they're like, quick, get them on these pills. I think that kids go through a lot of phases, and that if you just give people enough time to work things out, they generally figure things out. They generally figure out where they stand in life, what they want to do, where they want to be, who they want to be. This is something that some people don't figure out till after college, and or until they're in their 20s, even if you don't go to college, right? And it's wild to me that we're so quick to cram these pills down kids' throats with no real long-term evidence or long-term research being done on it. And to pass it off as, oh, it's a reversible thing. If you read through this Matt Walsh thread, you know, this guy got signed off as gender dysphoric, even though he wasn't gender dysphoric. And the nurse was like, well, we have to say you are, so the insurance will pay for it. Well, what? You know, you see, gender affirming care for children is undoubtedly a flashpoint in America's culture wars. It is also human experiment on children and teens, the most vulnerable patients, ignoring the long-term dangers posed by unrestricted off-label dispensing of powerful puberty blockers, combined with the large overdiagnosis of minors as gender dysphoric borders on abuse. Now, I don't actually think it borders on it. I think it absolutely is. And I'm glad that the Wall Street Journal publishes. I'll be interested to hear all your comments in the comment section down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.